Stop chasing. All right, let's ride. Let's take a ride. We gotta talk. All right, we gotta talk, y'all. Look, we gotta talk. All right, because it's something that I think is very important for people to understand right now, and just about any sort of like task that you take on. All right, so in this video, I'm going to talk about the importance of collecting data, right? And the only way that you can collect data is to do something consistently enough without changing it for those results to present themselves. And then from there, you can then go and make a decision about whether or not what you are doing is working. A lot of times, depending on when someone starts, they may get hit with something that's a little off what they thought things were going to look like, and it can lead to them ultimately quitting and being like, you know what, I don't know if this is really for me. All right. I want you guys to understand the importance of collecting the data. Okay. The only way that you can get accurate data is to consistently, right, over a period of time, leave things unchanged. All right. When you're going back and back testing, when you're going back and reviewing any sort of data, right, you can't really run a test or experiment with multiple things consistently changing. You have to have a control and a variable. All right. So in order for us to get the best results and to even know if something is working, it is important that we don't switch it up so soon, right? Y'all, when I say stop chasing, this is about being patient. Do you feel me? It's about being able to hang in there with something long enough to see, okay, what really is this? If every time something doesn't go your way, excuse me, if every time something does not go your way, right, you think that it's time to shift or it's time to change, you're never going to find yourself having any sort of sustainable success in anything that you do. All right. This is a very like critical mindset shift that you have to adopt. All right. You got to get to a point where you can see something, right? You have a strategy, you know what you're looking for. And when that thing appears, you take it no matter what. So if we have a high probability setup that we are waiting for, when it presents itself, we take it no matter what. We got to get multiple of those under our belts before we can sit back and say, well, I don't think when I do it like this, it works. How would you know if you haven't done it 20 times? If you haven't taken a certain setup 50 times, how do you know if it actually works or if it's truly a high probability setup? You wouldn't know. All right. You wouldn't know. So it's important. All right. To whenever you set out to do something, you got to stick with it, whether you feel like it, whether you take a L, whether something's a little, you know what I mean? You got to continue to show up, right? Journaling is important when you are testing. Why? It seems very boring. It seems monotonous, but it's giving you the insight that just the data from the charts may not be able to give you. You're able to journal about how you were feeling, right? So these are the other things. These are the variables that that we can't control, right? These are the things that may be happening within us that we need to observe, right? Because this is going to give you insight as to, okay, damn, when I'm not when I haven't gotten this many hours of rest, it seems like that's when I my entries are bad. Or if I was in a certain mood. By the way, if you're feeling like that, you shouldn't be trading anyway. But it is important to jot down just like where you were emotionally, right? Where where you were just mentally when you took a trade, right? Anything that comes to mind that could possibly impact the trade, I want you to like just brainstorm a list of things like what could possibly come to mind that could impact my trading, and make that a part of your journaling. All right. I'm always giving you guys like, like just insights to some of the things that I'm doing. But mood, right? How am I feeling? That's something I'm writing about. What was my max drawdown? That's something I'm writing about, right? Um, you know, did the stock work out immediately? What was did it hit my my target? Did it hit my target earlier than expected? Did it exceed my target before I could even get out, and I got more out of the market than I bargained for, right? You know, all of these things are important. So just come up with a list of like just different things that may impact your trading that you can journal about. All right. But again, none of this works if you are not willing to hang in there consistently, right? If you're not willing to do this every day, right? And you don't have to, and I'm not saying trade every day, but I'm saying like every day that you trade, be willing to approach it like this, right? Approach it with journaling, approach it with taking the high probability setups that you see. If it's not a good trading day, it's not a good trading day, and none of this applies. We just don't trade. And if you in the prosperity collective, you know what I mean, on those no trade days, that's typically when we like we'll have some fun, or we'll have some sort of other breakthrough or something like that. All right, but listen, keep putting one foot in front of the other. Keep stacking bricks. Okay? Keep giving yourself time, right? The more you show up, the more reps you get, the better that you get at this, the more comfortable that you get. And look, I gotta say this. I already know that y'all getting better because I see it, right? I haven't told you this, but when I'm looking at some of the stocks and setups that you guys are sending me, I'm noticing that they are changing by the week. Every week I'm seeing like, oh, they're sending in better setups. They're getting this. They're understanding what's going on, right? So we want to keep that energy high. We want to keep that energy up. All right. Let's keep getting these reps in. You're getting better by the day. All right. When it's like I said, when it's not a good trading day, it's not a good trading day, and thumbs up for that. Journal that too, right? When you look in your journal, no, thank you. When you look in your journal, you're gonna be able to look back and be like, oh, like I decided not to get in that trade. That's also a good feeling, right? When you don't take a trade and then you see that it didn't work out, and you like, yes, I that's a win right there. I didn't make money, but I avoided losing money. That is a win. All right. And you're going to start seeing this more and more as time goes on. All right. So I just got to say this. Like, I'm super proud of each and every one of y'all that continue to show up on a consistent basis. I know that when you're, endeavoring on a new skill, it's not always comfortable and it's not always easy, but y'all are showing up and I'm literally seeing the results. All right. Now, if there's still some people that may not have, green P&Ls, or your P&L is not as green as you would like it to be, again, keep hanging in there. All right. We just now are approaching the end of the first quarter. You still got some time to get it together. But again, I got to keep the reminder on you. I got to keep that fire under you that you got to do the same thing over and over, right? When you feel a little bored, that's when you in the pocket of building wealth, right? I ask anybody who's self-made, when you feel kind of bored, like, man, I've been doing the same thing every day, same trade. It's like that's when you're in the pocket of building wealth. That boredom is you mastering, right? That boredom is you staying disciplined and patient and showing that you can sit in the unknown for an extended period of time. All right. It's not always going to be a thrilling day in the market. All right, get that on your dome. Get that through your head. It's not always going to be like, woo wee, oh yeah. Like, we're not chasing dopamine rushes. We're not gambling. We are stoic traders, right? We got somebody in the group named Stoic, right? So it's like we are literally like we're in this, for the long haul, right? Executing on the things that we said. If you take this journey correctly, I'm trying to tell you, not only will you master trading, but you are going to become a much better person. All right. Continue to stay the course, man. It's nothing but love over here, man. I appreciate y'all. Always remember, invest smart so you can live free. Y'all know I'm gonna see you in the next one. Also, if this video was helpful in any way, go ahead and hit that like button and the subscribe button. It'll be a tremendous help to myself and the channel. Also, I go live every day, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific to about 12:30 to 1 Pacific. All right. So that's 2:30 on the East Coast. All right. And then on Sundays, I'm back again with the Sunday watch list setup. I typically do that around 4 p.m. All right. Also, if you are looking for a trading home and you want to be a part of a community that is going that way, right? The Prosperity Collective is the way. We are the most unique out there. Again, I'm not going to spend time even going into it. Go read the testimonials. Go look at what people are saying about it and see if it resonates with you. Because we only want people in the group that, that have that positive energy, that have that can-do mentality, and they want to not only, grow themselves, but they also want to contribute and see the success of others. All right. So if that's you, and you're tired of trading by yourself and you want to be a part of a community that supports, you might want to give it a try. All right, the link is in the description of all my videos. Check them out. Again, subscribe if it's valuable to you. I'll see y'all in the next one.